This is an ABC News special report. Queen Elizabeth II, the legacy, the life.
Good morning. I'm Janae Norman here in New York, and we're coming on the air this morning with news about Britain's Queen Elizabeth as Britain, the Commonwealth, and the world mourns her passing. Her Majesty's coffin will be departing Balmoral Castle this morning in just a short time in a hearse to be driven to Edinburgh. Her coffin beginning its final journey there. It is a 6-hour journey that will allow much of the public there to really take in the moment, to witness the move, with the destination being the Palace of Holyrood House. Her body will remain there until tomorrow afternoon, eventually being flown back to London for her funeral on Monday, September 19th. You can see right there a live picture at Balmoral Castle. You can see the gates are open, guards standing there. We are expecting that there will be 6 of the estate's gatekeepers who are helping load the coffin, carry the coffin into a hearse via the small dining room. So we will be watching for that. But right now we're going to check in with ABC's Maggie Rulli, who joins us there from Balmoral Castle. And Maggie, that location, it was so sweet to the Queen, so special to her. Tell us what it's like out there, as I'm sure crowds are already lining up.
Hey, Janae. Yeah, Balmoral, as we know, is so special for the Queen, the entire royal family. We're waiting for that procession to start, waiting to watch her casket be driven past one final time. And Janae, what's been so striking for us being up here over the past few days is learning about not only how special Balmoral is for the royal family, but the special relationship that they have with the community here. You know, Balmoral for them was more than just a castle that they would come up to as a family. It was a place they came every year for months on end, and they really had this unique, wonderful, special relationship with the people here. You know, we spoke with many members of the community that would just speak so lovingly about the royal family, calling them not just the royal family, but their neighbors. They would see them in the community. They'd see them out on country walks. The royal family would walk into town. One woman spoke with us about how she worked at a local bakery here, and then Prince Charles would walk in to buy a loaf of bread. You know, it almost as if they were really part of the fabric of the community along with the people who lived here. Another person spoke about how, you know, the Queen would be driving herself through town and even wave to some of the locals. And that's the relationship that they have here. And that's partially why this place was so special for the family, but also this relationship with everyone who lived here. It's why we expect, you know, thousands and thousands of people to come out and pay their respects. We know it's going to be a more than 100-mile journey from here in Balmoral down to Edinburgh. They'll take their time. They snake along country roads, those country roads that the Queen so loved. They're also going to be going slowly through a lot of local towns, including one town just a few minutes from here. They do plan, we heard, to stop for a few moments to let that community come out and pay their respects. Again, this is something that means so much to the people here. You know, they're grieving not just their queen, but they're grieving a member of the community. They're grieving someone who was their neighbor. And you really get that sense here that it's a moment of reflection. People are somber. They clearly loved their queen. They also clearly love the now king. You know, there's a lot of focus on the royal family. There's been a lot of affection for King Charles. Talking about him, one family we spoke with said they now hope that he keeps coming up here. You know, they said they used to see then Prince Charles all the time, and he would be a part of the community. He would be there as, you know, local shops opened, as local restaurants opened. They kind of hope that he keeps continuing to come up here and share that love. So there's definitely this very special relationship, Janae, and I think we can just expect an outpouring of love to continue. You know, we even saw some of it just yesterday. Some of the Queen's family is still left here in Balmoral, and Princess Anne and other members of the royal family took the time to come out here and greet some of the members of the public that have been here seeing the Queen, waiting outside the Queen's castle. So there definitely is this moment of shared love and respect that you can feel standing out here, Janae.
And Maggie, for you to talk about how not only was Balmoral so special to the Queen, but obviously to her family as well, and to the people who lived in the villages nearby. And we know that today this is expected to be about a 6-hour procession, and as you said, slowing at times to allow so many people to pay their respects and really witness this historic occasion, to take in this moment that means so much, Maggie, as you were just explaining to those. Again, we have a picture here of the journey, the 175-plus mile journey from Balmoral Castle down there to Edinburgh. But Maggie, you know, as you're talking about the feelings there and how it is so sorrowful and such a touching time, I know a lot of people were moved by seeing the images of the so-called Fab Four, of William and Kate, Harry and Meghan walking side by side.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, this has been something I think everyone is looking towards the family right now. The family's made a point of saying they're grieving, but they also realize the nation is grieving, the Commonwealth, the world is grieving. And I think to see that show of unity from the family means so much. You know, we know that loss and grief can often bring families together. And at the end of the day, the royal family, yes, they are an icon here and throughout the world, but they're also a family. So to see all of them together, I think, was very moving for so many people.
For so many people, and we are beginning to see the procession there just starting, seeing it just approaching the castle gates there to Balmoral. And we are seeing the Queen's coffin there, draped in the royal standard of Scotland with the wreath of flowers laying atop it. Driving away there and just beginning that what is expected to be a 6-hour-long procession, 175-mile route from Balmoral Estate there to Edinburgh. And over the course of the 6 hours, driving through the Scottish countryside and stopping in some of those small villages that were so close to the Queen's heart, as she spent so much time there. And I want to bring in our ABC News royal contributor now, Robert Jobson, to talk with us about the Queen. I know you were there in Buckingham Palace, and as we are seeing this procession beginning, this is really the beginning of the opportunity for the public to come out and pay their final respects. What does this mean to all of the people there?
Well, I think it's deeply moving, actually, what we're witnessing here. The first sight of Her Majesty's coffin leaving Balmoral, a place that she's so cherished, and Scotland was a place that she so much loved ever since she was a little girl. You've got to remember that her mother, the Queen Mother, the late Queen Mother, was, of course, Scottish herself. But this is history in the making before our eyes as the coffin of Her Majesty drives along that long journey all the way to Edinburgh. But I think that all those villages, the next village along will be Ballater, where, you know, she would be seen just walking into the shops, and people, they were very protective of the royal family there. They were their royal family. And I think it's quite fitting, and one place that she chose, really, it's almost as if she chose to be in Scotland at the point of her passing, because it was so important to her. And in fact, this actual moment here that we're witnessing is something that I think many people in Scotland will be very proud that actually this event is focused on their country, and there will be a whole lot of people going to Edinburgh to pay their respects to the Queen. And the fact that there's this operation going on here, this Operation Unicorn going on now, all in Scotland, focus of the attention, will be something I think that she would actually have known about and would be proud that it's happening.
Yeah, you're saying that Operation Unicorn, that was the originally the plan for the Queen's death was known as codenamed London Bridge. Of course, it then changed to Operation Unicorn. And as we are seeing these images, I want to bring back in our Maggie Rulli, because Maggie, the Queen's coffin, it just went by you just a short time ago. What was it like in that moment when the procession passed by?
Yeah, Janae, just moments ago, we watched the Queen's coffin. You could see it through the glassed-in back of that hearse. And what's so striking for me in this moment, Janae, is taking a moment to think about how much Balmoral meant to the Queen. As we just heard Robert saying, this is one of her favorite places. It's where she spent the final moments of her life. It's where her whole family, came together to be together in the moment of her passing. And what we just witnessed, what we watched, her coffin leaving Balmoral, what hits you is that it's her final time leaving this place that she so cherished. And watching that happen, it's just striking. It reminds you that this is the end of an era. This is the end of what so much of the world thinks of when they think of the British monarchy. And to watch that happen, watch that piece of history, it's emotional. And I think that's what everyone's feeling right now, this strong emotion of grief, of reflection, of wanting to honor her spirit. You know, what always sticks with me from our time up here as well is the thousands of people that have come to Balmoral while the Queen was resting inside, and they told us they just wanted to be close to her one final time, to feel her spirit. And I think we'll see so much of that over the next coming days, whether it's on the route down to Edinburgh, when she lays in state in Edinburgh or in London, the hundreds of thousands of people that are expected to come out to pay their respects for that one final moment to be near their Queen.
And Maggie, you put it so poignantly there that this really is such a somber moment, because it is Her Majesty's final time leaving Balmoral Castle. We have a live aerial picture here of the procession as it's making its way through the Scottish countryside. Scottish officials saying tens of thousands of people are expected at points to line the more than 175-mile route as the procession makes its way to Edinburgh. And just to go over what will happen here, tomorrow Queen Elizabeth's coffin will be taken in a procession to St. Giles's Cathedral, where it will lie and rest. It will then be flown to London on Tuesday, arriving at Buckingham Palace. Wednesday, it'll be moved to Westminster Hall, for lying in state, ending on the morning of the state funeral being held at Westminster Abbey on September 19th. That is on Monday, September 19th. But as we are seeing these live images of Queen Elizabeth's coffin, the procession, her final time leaving Balmoral Castle, a place that meant so much to her, where she spent so much time. It is a moment to take in, a historic moment that so many in that country will be heading out to pay their final respects to the Queen. We are going now to return you to our regular programming, and we will have much more. I will see you in just a short time on Good Morning America. And of course, you can always get the latest anytime at abcnews.com and on ABC News Live.